Hey you guys, Vesta here. So, through the political section of this episode, there is a buzzing noise that I did my best to get rid of, and she was not cooperating. So, do your best to listen through it. It gets better later on. Enjoy.
And welcome to the Baldwin Kids Podcast, a space dedicated to discussing sociopolitics, mental health issues, and nerd culture. I am the ever bored K.
And I am the luxuriant Vesta.
Ooh,
That would have
like
been so much better had my voice not cracked in the middle of me saying
the
that.
luxuriant.
Kiss my ass. Anyway,
so, so,
we're still like halfway frozen from like the waist down.
yeah, basically. So, long story short, we ended up having to adjust a bunch of schedules and shit and not record on our usual day, much to my annoyance. So yeah, we're here. We're queer and we're frigid. Yeah. For those who weren't who weren't turned into ice cubes in the Midwest, the cold it got down to 29 below out by where I live,
And about the same where I live.
and that's not counting the wind chill.
Which made it like negative 40, 50.
Yeah, and I still had to work.
Not this pussy.
I was a monofilament away from calling in.
These big words. Look at you, you English major, you.
I mean, you do not have to make that face. You do not have to make that face. Lord.
It's like a blowfish.
Okay, Fugu.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, but so it went down. So we basically had like an 80-degree shift between, what was it, Wednesday?
Whatever day. Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday night got down to about 30 below without wind chill.
Yep.
And then by Sunday, we were 50-something above.
Which was just like, I don't know how any animals are surviving in that are like get accustomed to the cold and then 50 degrees.
Like,
right
bitch, it's the
after.
weather, not Six Flags. But you know what? I'm gonna. Mother Nature's gonna get her just due later on, I think. So, shall we jump into the garbage?
Yep.
All right. So we'll start with our Democrips and Republicans. With Bitch McConnell being the bitchy turtle that he is.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me actually pull up the actual article so I can actually talk about what he actually said and actually be accurate about it.
Actually.
Actually. So, long story short, Bitch McConnell is calling AOC, who I stand for,
Stan.
but saying that her suggestion to set Election Day as a holiday is, quote, a Democratic power grab.
Bitch, I guess. Like, alright. Don't know how you come to I guess. Like that's just like wow. I'm really scared of these demis.
Yeah, voting is a power grab. Allowing more people to vote is a power grab.
Like, oh no, like that thing that we're supposed to be allowed to do.
Yeah, like
That's not even subtle.
Are you exactly? And that's the thing that's baffling me. That's like, and again, this is if I'm being silent, I'm sure y'all have noticed by now that I have a motor mouth.
That's a motor mouth.
And if I'm stunned to silence, it's usually something absolutely baffling.
Like that.
Yeah, calling it
Like,
a power grab.
how dare you let these people I don't like vote against something I don't want?
You know what that sounds a lot like?
What?
North Carolina, who I clearly had to drag, who as a state auditioned for Drag Me to Hell Part 2. putting that shit out of. Let's remove Sunday voting because mostly black Democrats vote on Sundays.
I know. And it's like, oh
Oh,
wow, so we're just doing that now.
oh, okay.
Oh
And your problem is, if y'all were better politicians, that wouldn't be a concern. But
yeah,
since the majority of y'all ain't shit,
and know that you ain't
ain't shit, never been shit, never will be shit.
Yeah, gotta throw them fucking tenses at you.
Yeah, so y'all just are deciding to let's try to be as well. They started off as like let's try to be as stealthy as possible and trying to keep our power, and now it's just like fuck you.
Yeah, literally, love it.
Yeah, like make it a holiday.
Girl, bye.
Literally, more than half of the country, exactly, or at least per a recent poll, 54% of the American people would like to see that Election Day become an actual federal holiday that you're supposed to take off so you can actually go vote.
Right. That would, yeah, it would make sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand tweeted out about it, saying that voting isn't a power grab, it's democracy, and it's literally the entire point of our representative government. And by the way, not only should Election Day be a federal holiday, we need automatic voter registration and universal mail voting too. Agreed.
Ooh, yeah.
For those who can't make it to the polls,
Mail voting.
girl, it's just a 35-cent stamp and off it goes.
Yeah.
Lizzie Warren tweeted out, "What exactly does Bitch McConnell have against more Americans voting?" I wonder, what does he have against more Americans voting?
I wonder what it is.
Intéressant. C'est très, très intéressant.
Can you not?
Can I not what? Utiliser la langue française?
Oh,
Anyway, but yeah, that happened, and I'm just like, I want to do like actual investigative journalism, bitch. Like I want to like go down a Google rabbit hole and try to figure out if these hoes are trying to rig this shit. Like, girl, at least make it hard for me to show that you're being a piece of shit.
At least make it difficult.
Present a challenge, or present a challenge, or present your resignation, bitch. Because goddamn,
At least make it difficult. I love it. But it's so accurate.
my 5-year-old nephew could find this out.
Literally. Yeah.
And that's not downing him because he's actually really damn, maybe too smart for a 5-year-old.
Evil Knievel.
But like, if he can get this figured out in 5 seconds, girl, like, and yet people still somehow magically support them. Go figure. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, it would also, the bill that AOC dropped would also include provisions that require presidential candidates to show their tax returns.
And I know they love that.
Yeah, Donnie's been trying to avoid it as long as possible.
I love it because we know that thing ain't been paying no taxes.
It would also make super PACs disclose large donors.
Ooh.
And add a matching system for small donations and more.
Ooh.
So I hope it.
AOC
Honestly,
is coming for scalps.
You know what? We're gonna move my standing to now, cause
God damn it.
what? Like
Standing.
she came through with the hoop earrings and the loud red lipstick and the solid white suit for that State of the Union, and just gave hairy eyeballs to that pumpkin faced bitch the whole time. And I live.
You know who else did that? Who was actually on screen for most of the time?
Nancy Pelosi. And the fact that she was wearing a necklace with 2 distinct orange balls on it.
Nancy gave
I
no fucks.
live.
None.
And then so Black Twitter took that clap that she did and called it the fuck you clap.
The fuck you clap.
And frankly, I'm also here for
She was
that.
like, okay. And a couple of things, I was watching it. Like, there was nothing else, like, to distract me. And YouTube was just full of live streaming the State of the Union.
I was otherwise indisposed. Otherwise, I would have watched it
And
myself.
I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. And I don't know when I walked in. He sounds so, like, propaganda-ish. It sounds so
He
like
sounds like a drunk
we
he sounds
we
like
are amazing. We have the best military, and we're the best country. We're the envy of the world. I'm like, if you don't stop
Here's the
that,
problem. That is blatant nationalism, and that's an issue. It's not the best because it's ours.
You
We make it
acknowledge no flaws.
we need to try to make it the best.
Yeah.
Because it is ours, we should strive for
Like,
greatness.
we are the
Not-
envy of the world. and
Not
da, da,
it
da,
is
da,
not
da.
great. Hang on. Let me marshal my words correctly. We as a nation need to strive for greatness because it is our nation. Our nation is not amazing just because it is our nation.
Right. It was just, and every time he said something about the USA being great, one side of the room just completely stood up and just was like applauding. So, yes, we are.
I'm wondering if you noticed the orange dust around their lips.
Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here. But it was just like, oh, I forget who like all the guests that he had, like in the audience. Like there was so many.
There were also a bunch of transgender veterans there.
Were they trans veterans?
Not by his invitation, but there were, if I remember correctly, there were 4 of them there that were just like, "Hi, yes, hello, we exist."
Because I know he called out some specifically, like he mentioned D-Day and like all this other stuff.
I'm bored. Moving on. I just can we get back to Miss Ocasio-Cortez?
Go ahead, stand some more.
Oh, I don't need an invitation.
Nope.
Because people keep trying to come for her on Twitter, and I feel like she needs to just tweet this out and make it her pinned tweet. Do not come for me unless I send for you. Because somebody during the cold apocalypse that was last week, someone had the hold on. I have this bitch's name. Oh, Jim Hoft. Jim Hoft, whoever that is, had the nerve to say something along the lines of...
I just, because I'm thinking about multiple things relating to this at once, and it just makes me laugh. Go on.
Yeah, but whoever Jim Hoft is had the nerve to say that, look at this polar vortex. Aren't you glad you're not heating your home with solar panels like Nitwit AOC wants you to?
That's so stupid.
And
like, how can you
everybody-
be so stupid and so loud at the same time?
Loud and wrong.
Just completely wrong.
Loud and wrong.
This was legendary.
Oh, please let me find the exact tweet that she responded to him with, because I gagged. She said something along the lines of, "Hi, no."
Yeah.
Oh God, where is it? There it is. She was classy about it too. So whoever Jim Hoft is said, and I'm quoting his tweet, "It's a bit cold outside this morning in Middle America. Aren't you glad you aren't heating your home with a solar panel like Nitwit Socialists at AOC is demanding?" With a bunch of pictures of like -4, which honestly isn't that bad compared to -20
-30, -50.
And she just calmly tweeted out, "The Republican Party's best and brightest is back at it today, I see."
I live for her. I live for her so much. It was. How can you be so loud and so wrong? Like, I wish I had that confidence to go out there and say some shit. Like, I'd be right, but I wish I had the confidence that man had sometimes.
Oh, Lord, grant me the confidence of the mediocre white man. I'm gonna break the shade button today, aren't I?
You are. It's gonna fucking light's gonna go out on it.
Basically. But like, and the thing with Patchy the politician, I mean, let me pull up his actual name before somebody tries to come for me for being ableist or something. What is it, Jim Crenshaw? Dan Crenshaw, there it is. So during the big game, because we can't say the actual phrase, unless you want the NFL to sue our intestines out.
Are you kidding me?
No. Like, people can't advertise, insert actual name here, parties, or they people have actually gotten sued.
Are you kidding me?
Like, unless it's
no wonder they fucking suck.
Unless it's
All right.
actually sanctioned by the NFL to use that word in their advertising, you have to say it's a party for the big game.
All right, well, the OK pot. The OK pot.
The mediocre spoon.
It's too long. It's got to be like
What about
3
a
syllables.
superb owl?
Superb Al. But the OK pot.
Anyway, so basically, Rep Dan Crenshaw out of Texas tried to come for AOC, tweeting out, "Should someone propose a 70% tax on the Patriots so that NFL competition is more fair and equal? Asking for a friend."
That was the most mayonnaise sounding voice.
I mean, when you look like Mad Eye Moody and try to legislate things. Anyway, so she was like, "Okay, so here, bitch, I've got facts for you."
Hello, it's me again. How are you?
So flipped her hair, adjusted her hoop earrings, put on some new red lipstick, and was like, "The average NFL salary is 2.1 million, so most players would never experience a 70% rate. The owners who refuse to hire Kaepernick would, though."
Man, the OK pot is trifling.
Like, in this day and age, I hesitate to stand for people because kill your heroes. Your heroes are more often than not trash. I mean, we've had people who idolized Rapist Kelly, and then all of his shit came out. Well, rather, it's been out.
It's literally been out, and they're like, "Well, he's still amazing."
Hell,
like,
the Boondocks made a whole ass episode about him getting dragged.
Whole ass episode.
A whole ass decade and a half ago.
Literally.
But you know, he can sing and he can make some stepping bops, but whatever. People.
Is that what those are called?
People living for David Bowie when he was screwing around with a 14-year-old. Who else? Who else was coming out? Who was proving themselves to be trash? Whoever played Luke Cage in that one Netflix series.
Luke Cage had a Netflix series.
Who was just talking shit about trans people. Cardi B talking about trans people, even though her and Nicki Minaj's Belle Calise and Nicki Minaj came for tomato laryngitis. Okay, quick translation for those who don't know. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Tommy Lahren. I'm just putting that out there in case you're just joining us. This is the Baldwin Kids podcast. What?
Can you go on now?
Fine. Beach. Anyway,
I'm the one who goes off topic all the time, telling you to speed up.
Bitch, I'm in a good mood. It is Black Ass History Month. I am living in every ounce of my melanin right now and having the most fun I possibly can while recording this podcast.
Melanation. What?
So we're going to move on. I still haven't come up with a nickname for this segment. Something about the 45s. No. You know what? Somebody tweet me at the Iron Magnus. That's THEIRONMAGNUS.
Don't tweet me.
As I finger spell it, and Vesta rolls his eyes.
Don't tweet me for a name of this.
But yeah, go ahead and tweet me if you have an idea for talking about Anita Wall. Ooh, what if I called it Anita Wall coming to the stage? Coming to the stage, Anita Wall. Anyway,
judging you so loudly right now.
Oh, I'm sure. Anyway, so, I mean, this is old news, but, Anita Wall is a narcissistic prick and a nitwit.
Yep.
But, I mean, anybody with sense knew that, well before November 8th, 2016.
Yeah.
But things are coming out, more and more shit is coming out. It's like more and more of the people that work with him or work under him are just like, I am tired of this toddler nonsense. Reports coming out of him flat out ignoring reports that contradict what he said on Twitter or otherwise over the airwaves, lashing out if he disagrees with what agents find and bring to him, and above all, and I live for this, The Root called him, and I quote, a lazy thought. I mean, he's kind of the definition of a thought, though. Because that hole over there.
That's so much.
I think either I or the root. What is with that leprechaun ass giggle? Do we need hold music?
No, we don't. I'm good. Woo! I'm good. Let's go.
Okay. So, and I mean, he is kind of the definition of a thought, because like he cheated on his first wife with his second wife, cheated on his second wife with his third wife, while his second wife was pregnant with his kid from when he cheated on his first wife,
Mm-hmm.
and then now has his third wife who he cheated on with a prostitute. Not downing Stormy Daniels, but she did apparently did sex acts for money.
Girl,
Sex worker. Let me use the more proper term.
get your coin.
Which, yeah, girl, get your coins. Make them coins. But
Fake an orgasm on that little man. Ooh.
on that little mushroom.
I was gonna say something much worse, but I don't want to talk shit about
Let's not.
the glory that is the.
Let's try to avoid body shaming, because I know I'm terrible with that.
I'm real bad with that.
Especially if we're gonna try to be more body positive. Should probably be less shit about that.
It's true.
But so here's why the root called him a lazy thought, though. His itineraries leaked, and he spends more than 60% of his time on quote executive time, meaning he's probably sitting on the shitter,
do shit.
sitting on the shitter and shooting out tweets, or sitting in the Oval Office. Not
Sending out
reading
tweets.
not reading anything smaller than 20-point font that doesn't mention his name, or sending out tweets.
He came out with the font size.
Oh, come on. Isn't that the size that most children's books are printed in?
Go on.
I'm over him.
Same.
Okay. So in that case, so our rapid fire segment is actually lacking quite a bit this week.
Mm-hmm.
Truth be told, everything was lacking kind of this week.
Yeah.
Like, even with a delay in recording, it's just, I think the freeze just froze everything.
Yeah, literally. Because I could find nothing.
Yeah, and I usually have my ear to the ground, and I'm trying to use Twitter more so I can be on, like, the cutting edge of the news stories. What?
Okay.
Anyway, so a rapid fire segment.
Bang bang into the room.
Cory Booker threw his hat and his 10-gallon head into the presidential race. At least he's not as bad as LL Cool J.
Oh, that's a 45-gallon head right there.
That is a head.
LL Cool J is hard as head.
He must have been the head of his class. He was a little headstrong to start lip sync battle.
Stop.
Just as long as it keeps his head in the game, we'll be okay.
Oh my god.
I wonder if his favorite shampoo is Head and Shoulders.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me try to speed it up a little bit, because I know I'm kind of all over the place today. So Cory Booker threw his name into the pile with a desire to legalize cannabis on a national scale, which, girl, I'm always here for.
That reminds me of that video. Remember when Bernie Sanders was still like rallying, and there's that video of him saying legalizing marijuana, and the one black guy in the back just sits all the way up.
Bitch, that'd have been me. That'd have been me.
Just whoop.
Hi, yes, hello.
I'm voting for you.
I already wanted Bernie, but we're not even going to get into that. And Hawaii is considering elevating the smoking age to a smooth century.
I read about
Like, bitch,
that.
you gotta
Man,
have
I'm
seen
like,
celebrities rise and fall before you can smoke a single.
Yeah.
Honestly, smoking, pardon the slight pun, smoking is a cancer. Like, regular cigarettes, especially the cheap ones, are just abhorrent.
Yes.
I used to smoke, and I'm glad I don't. There's a lot more money in my pocket because I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like, granted, like, I do enjoy cannabis,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as frequency wise, people smoke 2-3 cigarettes a day. If I tried to smoke 2-3 joints a day, I would not function.
Oh yeah,
Like
and
even
there are
with like
people that
dirt
like
weed,
do that.
like even with like dirt weed, I wouldn't be able to function.
Like, and there are people that do that like on a daily, and I'm like, okay, that's why y'all don't do shit.
You know what? That's that. I was gonna say something, but that's for when we're not recording.
Oh, I was gonna say, but yeah, about the cigarettes thing. I had an ex that chain smoked like hardcore, and on the one hand, they weren't no cheap shit, and so they actually smelled really nice.
American Spirit.
No, I don't remember what they were
I was
called.
gonna say my former roommate.
Montegos. That's what they're called.
Interesting. Yeah,
And
my former roommate smoked American Spirits, and it actually didn't bug me.
right, Montegos didn't never bug me either, but he'd buy them by the case.
Meanwhile, my ex smoked fucking Parliament or Pall Mall or whatever, like the shit tier
Mm.
cigarettes are, and like the stank seeped out of their pores.
The stank.
The stank. It dripped.
Oh wow! So we're gonna leave that with that word
But
there.
yeah, and with Hawaii being as small as it is, as small and as tropical as it is, nobody wants to see cigarette butts everywhere.
Please,
I mean, nobody wants to see cigarette butts, period. But
literally.
anyway, moving on to our palate cleanse.
It's like a bass boost sound every time you do that. Like I might just start dubbing that in now. Every time you say palate cleanse, just put a sound over it. I might.
Anyway, another thing that is, another segment that's fairly lacking. Like I said, like I need more material. Tweet me stuff, please.
Please.
Please, Twitter. Can I have some more? More.
How next? Your theater is showing.
Okay, so first off, first and foremost, my entire scalp is already in the mail on the way to Danielle Brooks as we speak.
Wig don't know what to scalp gone. Wig gone.
Wig, scalp, hell, the top
Hair
layer.
don't know what to do.
The
no
top
more.
layer of my skull has been removed along with it.
Not your skull, bitch.
Because she dropped this song called Black Woman.
Oh my god.
And the video, the whole thing. I will live for a century longer than I was planning on just from that video. Cause like I wish I'd have pulled up the lyrics, but there's like taglines in there where like there's no room in the world. The world wants me to do this, that, and the other, so that way I can actually fit in it. But bitch, I'm a black woman, and I smash molds, darling, and you cannot handle it.
I forget what she said when she said something better if I had light eyes and like whitening cream.
Oh yeah, that took me out.
Cause that's real shit. People still like that's some shit that people do. I can't speak on that too heavily because I am a fairly. What shade is this? Is this like butter
Cafe
pecan or like
Cafe-O too much lay?
I'm leaving the podcast. It's been fun, y'all. Thanks. No, but I'm fairly. I guess I'm melanated somewhere.
You are.
Somewhere.
Bitch, don't down your melanin.
I'm like really light. I don't know. But like, I can't speak on that too much, is what I'm saying.
Say, if y'all follow our Facebook page, you can see the picture of two of us side by side doing the Wakanda salute. I was hoping you would do that.
Oh, yeah.
But us side by side doing the Wakanda salute at WakandaCon, which inspired this bitch in the first place.
Just in case you guys didn't know that from the last 50 times we said that.
And I will forever say it. Okay, here we go. There's some lines near the end where she gets like really into it, and this is the part that I originally saw on Facebook that just snatched my soul.
Okay.
The world tells me there's space for me if I cinch it up and sew it in.
Yes, that's the one.
The world tells me it will all be mine with some lashes on and lighter eyes. The world tells me it will work for me if I let him do a little surgery. The world tells me it will change for me with some longer nails and some lightning cream. And I'm just like, huh.
The real fucking talk. Real shit.
Basically, I live.
We don't necessarily get to hear that, some of that, because, you know, we don't normally wear lashes. And normally do. We get told to lose weight, though.
But bitch, in the video, like, why after she says the something lashes, she like pulls her lashes off.
Yeah, she pulls them off. That's a whole bop.
And basically,
my wig.
I'm surprised it took us this long to press that button one time.
I mean, basically. Also, Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped, which I want to play it. I don't have the money to play it.
What do you do?
Like, if some sugar daddy wants me to be like, "Hi, daddy," and pay for the.
Guys, gals, nobody else. That concludes another episode.
Bitch, don't steal my line.
I guarantee you, I'm gonna just start playing the music on that part. Just start the music up again.
Okay. Anyway.
But I'm not excited for how long that game took, so I've lost a lot of my interest in it.
See, I want to play through, or at least like watch like an anthology of all the previous games except for 2, because I played and beat 2.
I'm gonna say don't pick up Kingdom Hearts 1.
I tried to play Kingdom Hearts 1. I tried.
It's so hard.
I can't get past how Sora jumps. I can't.
It's so hard.
Though I will side-eye the series for not having not Nan Black character in there. You can argue what's her name from Pirates of the Caribbean, but Tia Dalma?
Calypso?
Yeah.
She's
Creole.
Yeah, I guess that counts. But I was also gonna say Xemnas is like
Tan.
That's tan.
Tan.
Ari's light skinned.
No, Xemnas
is dark.
Xemnas looks like a whole tan Sephiroth.
Xemnas is dark.
Xemnas is a tan Sephiroth. Fight me.
Oh, they made him darker in the new game then. Spoilers, because he's darker now.
Oh, interesting. Or they could have, put a couple of actual black characters in there.
I know, right?
Funny how that would have worked out. Anyway, and then last but not least, Martellus Bennett, who used to play the football, wrote a poem after the deaths of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, who I'm still, the latter of which, I mean, both of them still irk me, but the lattermost of which I will forever want to burn the NRA for.
Yes.
Because they still ain't said nothing.
Still.
But he wrote a poem after their passing, and said poem is being turned into a book that's expecting to drop next month.
Hey.
So I plan on buying a copy.
I'm down.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I still hate that I like Seven Rings so much. Like, I want to hate it because it's basically Princess Nokia, 2 Chainz, and Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Featuring some girl with too much self-tanner on.
Oh.
Am I wrong?
I mean, but she would basically just be White Diamond on stage if she didn't self-tan. So. You seen that girl in Victoria? She's like a whole light bulb with a red wig on.
She looks like a whole ass different person.
But anyway.
Anyway, I believe that actually cinches it up for our first segment. So we're going to be moving on to our musical break, which is a song called Take a Hit and Let's Go by Bundy?
Yes.
All right, shiny. In that case, enjoy some sweet cheens. And we'll be back.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
You never heard that before? Yeah.
No!
Oh. It's a young person thing, I guess.
Apparently, and I'm just old. I'm like the crypt keeper.
God bless your heart, Jamie Lee Curtis. You were a legend.
Were.
Hmm?
Were.
I said you are a legend.
Oh, I thought I was about to say, don't.
She's after Halloween. She's still a legend. Anyway.
All right, so we are going to do our mental health segment.
I'm not ready for this.
Y'all ready for this? Ba-na-na-na-na. Anyway, and so as always, we are a couple of loudmouths with a pair of microphones, some recording equipment, and we are not experts. We are not professionals. We are not. You know, I had something for that and I just lost it. Anyway, you know what? Just take what we say. Though this shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. But take what we say with a mediocre, superb owl full of salt.
I approve of this for one.
That game was tragic, bitch. There wasn't a single touchdown in that entire game. I didn't even watch it.
And then let's not get started on the halftime show.
What halftime show?
So let's get started on that mental health section.
So, we're going to talk about love.
Sure are.
No, I'm not going to sing Music Soul Child. Anyway. What?
Don't do this.
What?
Don't do it.
What? No.
Do you see the blue bar that you just made? Guess who has to go and fix that later? Sir.
Yale.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, we're talking about love.
Mm-hmm.
This is not...
All right, so we're going to start.
Wow, just cut me off on a good thought. Fight me.
What were you going to say? This is not one.
I was going to say, this is not something that's going to be easy to talk about.
It's not going to be easy for either of us. But I'm going to start off with a quick little run through. So, as far as I'm concerned, English language is garbage for trying to define love because it's got one word for it, whereas the Greeks are like, okay, girl, let's categorize these. So, what we've got, and I apologize to any of our Greek listeners if I absolutely mutilate the pronunciation of...
You know someone's going to correct us, so we might as well not even...
I'm still going to apologize in advance, bitch. I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not Mitch McConnell. Anyway, that's not even shade. That is true fucking tea.
That's why I was looking at the button like...
He needs to just retract into his shell and float away and never bother us again. Because I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. So,
but no, this is the mental health section, not the politics section. We can drag bitch McConnell later. There are, as far as my like 10-second research dug up, 7 different forms of love as far as the Greek language is concerned. Start off with agape, which is selfless and unconditional. A lot of New Age Christians, especially a lot of the ones that I went to college with forever and a half ago, their best example of that was Christ's love for the church.
Which makes sense.
I'm not even going to delve too far into that because that could be a whole podcast on its own.
Yeah.
We've also got eros, from which we get the word erotica. So, as you can probably guess, eros is basically lust. Is a bit of an oversimplification, but a simplification nonetheless. We've got philia, which is for like deep friendships.
Yeah.
Like the kind of people you would take a bullet for. Like my friend who I mentioned before, I forget how I referred to him. Did I say JC? Well, I said the hint was to tell him to stop apologizing, which the admonition still stands, bitch, stop apologizing. And that's no shade to any of my other friends. It's just he's one of the ones that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because we actually do say I love you back and forth to each other, and it's philia. It's not any of the other ones.
Yes.
There's ludus, which is one that I actually didn't know about, which is kind of the casual dating type sitch, where you feel some kind of affection for them, but it's
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's more superficial
Well,
Then
that came out horribly wrong. I didn't know that there was a word for that in another language.
Mhm.
That's what I meant to say.
but it's much more superficial than its cousin pragma, which is the deep, long-lasting love that Jada and Will,
Mm.
that Megan Mullally and oh fuck, what's his name? I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. Nick Offerman.
Whew, I was gonna say close save. I knew the name. I just wasn't gonna say anything.
No, I've watched him talk about how much he loves her on stage, and it is moving because like you see this Rottweiler of a man
That's an
like
amazing description.
dissolve into a little bit of a puddle, just going, God, I love that. And I'm like
That's
that.
on top. That's hot. First of all. Second of all, that's exactly what that is.
Um,
What?
I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna be shitty. Anyway, there's also, and this is the one that I was a little. This and the next one are the two that I'm a little concerned about pronouncing improperly. This one is Philautia, which sounds like honestly, it sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Harry Potter spell.
Also sounds like.
Philautia.
It also would read fellatio, like fellatio-ish if you read it wrong.
I-
That's where my mind went. You can tell we're two very different and similar people.
Clearly. But this one is a little dangerous because this is the love of self. And this
Yeah.
kind of bridges with our previous episode about self care.
Hmm.
Philautia straddles the line between narcissism and self care.
Yes.
Like you love yourself enough to take care of yourself versus I'm the shit, bitch, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
Both are technically Philautia, but the latter of which is basura.
I'm gonna say one of which lasts longer.
The other one of which also is very presidential. And last one, and this is the one that I'm really concerned about. Storge? Storge?
I'm gonna say it's a storage.
Uh,
That doesn't sound very Greek to me.
Storga.
Yeah.
Um,
Spelled in.
spelled Storge. This one is the love from a parent to their child. This is the kind. Honestly, I feel like this isn't restricted to parents and children because this would be the same kind that I feel for my nephew.
Hmm.
It's unconditional like agape, but it's like that. It's got the caretaker aura about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my little mini lecture or a little mini I guess just defining a bunch of different kinds of love and mentioning a couple of little examples.
Yes.
But I know Vesta and I both have very, very, very complicated relationships with that phrase. I am not alien to being love bombed.
Hmm. Yeah.
Which, for those who don't know, is where somebody just like kind of blurts out that phrase.
That's like
Jarring.
scary.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you gotta
scary.
react. You gotta react verbally, not just shudder.
I was trying to find the word. Like, it's scary. That's the only word I can think of that terrifies me.
Yeah. Like, and that's part of why in relationships, I'm especially now that, or since, my last long term relationship ended, I'm extremely hesitant to throw that phrase around, just because it carries so much weight behind it.
Yeah, and it's like you can't fuck with that. Like that, people are really quick to throw that around too. So like,
Which is unfortunate.
yeah, because it shows that people either and it's very. I've seen it in both situations of this. Like, don't really know what it is. Like per se, like don't know enough of, like don't know what it is to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other people that use it very knowingly that that's a heavy ass word to people and use it.
Manipulatively.
Yes, manipulative.
Ooh, there's a tongue twister. Manipulatively.
And I've experienced both.
So have I.
and the latter of which is something that
Malicious as hell.
scares me a lot.
Yeah. And that's why there's my issue with the English language and that word.
Hmm.
Because, you know, in Greek I can easily say, use philia or use the verb form of philia for a lot of my friends and not
Right.
feel weird about it.
Hmm.
Whereas just saying I love you to my friends feels really weird because it's got that weird connotation because relationships. It's got that really weird connotation because my relationship with my parents
Right.
is oh god. I don't have words for what my relationship with my parents is. Suffice to say, it's complicated. No Avril Lavigne.
The song's a bop. How dare you?
Why'd you have to go and make
Everything's
things
so
anyway?
complicated. Mm.
But well, I guess we can kind of move on to just like how do you express love, be it with your friends or with your partners?
So, that's a hard question.
Do you want me to go first then?
No, I'm saying it's a hard question because those are two very different things to me. Because I don't say I love you to.
Well, then let's go friends first then.
I don't say I love you to my friends very often. Like a common phrase I say to my friends, I don't just say I love you because I can't say that and not feel weird about it.
Right.
I usually say I love you to death. That's usually what I say, and it makes me
A-
feel a lot better about saying it to me. I don't know why.
adding that to death makes it a little more colloquial and more
Yeah,
playful and less heavy.
love you to death. And I have a best friend in like the whole wide world. You know her. I say I love you to her, and it's not weird because we say I love you to each other all the time.
Starts with an M. Okay.
Yes. Mellow, so I like to call her.
Be like, hey girl.
Yeah. Every time we get off the phone, it's I love you too, always. And that's one of the few people, friends wise, that I say that to. Now, if we're talking about partners, that's a scary one.
Oh, well, hang on,
Cause
hang on. Let me get my friend stuff out
oh,
first.
we're doing like that. Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
okay. So with my friends, I don't necessarily say it a lot. Again, aside from JC,
Right.
um, but and there was a Tumblr post that floated around for a while that's saying ways to say I love you without saying it. Text me when you get home. Are
Mm,
you okay? Do you need anything? Like checking in and checking on people, making sure that they're okay, is a way to express philia
right.
with your friends.
Right.
And that's part of why I wrote those down, so that way we can kind of reference them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But being just like noticing, like, what was it, last summer or the summer before? A friend of mine he was like super depressed, like in a really bad way. So myself, along with a handful of other people, showed up at his apartment randomly, ordered pizza, brought other things, and we had a good ass time just laughing, cracking jokes. Somebody got a haircut at one point.
Sounds like a party.
it wasn't a party, but it was something. And you could like he just like when I got there, he just wasn't look. He was like trying. Like you could see his mouth was trying to be positive, but you could see it in his eyes, and he was in a really bad way. And by
Yeah.
the end of it, he was lighting up the room
Right.
because we showed up, showed out, and showed Philia for him.
Yes.
Um, which I don't know if he listens, but I'm super super excited for him and for the summer because yeah, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to put too much of his business out there.
Mm-hmm.
Suffice to say that a huge step for him just happened recently.
Right.
Still, recovering from it.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm super excited to see what happens in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And that I will leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now partners.
Oh my god. This is scary. Cause I have said it to a few partners.
Hmm.
And as I look back on it, I've actually talked to it about this specific thing with a couple of ex partners of mine that we don't really think we knew what it was at the time that we said it to each other.
I wait to say it.
Like,
Don't
it
you
w-
do this, Jennifer?
Jennifer, girl, you've been gone for a while. No need for you to come back. Um,
You don't live here anymore.
bum, 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 bum. Anyway, I'm sorry. Um, but I don't know. That's a very hard one because as I've gotten older, mind you, said ex partners were when I was like 17, 18,
Oh, when
19
you
years
were a
old.
baby.
Oh, gosh. But like, I, I'm hesitant to even say it to partners because I, my most current ex partner, it took me a long time to say that to him. And I've also, this is such a complicated question. Um,
And this would be somewhere, for those following along, this would be somewhere between Ludus and Pragma.
yeah, yeah, that's the best way to describe it, honestly. Because I can only honestly say, and I've said this to my ex partners before after a while, that I am for sure, I'm absolutely positive that I felt pragma from like that kind of love for one person.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't be named, but I felt it for one person. And the reason why the word scares me is because that's a real deep level of like yourself that you're sharing with somebody and you're letting someone into. That the fear of doing it and then having it potentially be in vain
Mm-hmm.
is like,
The fear of having your Pragma turned around on you.
yes, to have it be either turned around on you or just not appreciated or reciprocated. Like it's taken for granted. That's why I have a very hard time like even saying it. Even if I feel that I won't say it. It'd take me a long time to like come out and tell somebody this
Mm-hmm.
in that kind of relationship that say I love you to them. It's very
But how do you
hard.
express it?
I say it. I will outright. I say it. I say it a lot. Like just outright. If I feel it for somebody, but it's also in with like actions with me, like things that I do. I feel like I'm doing this because I love you. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more like it's a mix between those two, just saying it and like showing it through action.
More of an acts of service type thing.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. Done?
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Um, I don't say it often. Like even after it's been said the first time.
Hmm.
I don't know. Again, I feel like that stems from me having that really complicated relationship with that phrase.
Yeah.
But I try to show it. I try to, listen to what my partner or partners, sup bitch poly team. Anyway, listen to what my partner or partners are saying and try to react appropriately. Case in point, the person I'm seeing now, um, I haven't said it. I don't think I'll be saying it anytime soon because I partially from discomfort with the phrase, partially because it's still a fairly new relationship. But they weren't having the best day despite it being their birthday. Um, so I did my best to help calm them down because we had made plans because birthday, and I can tell that they were upset because it's supposed to be their birthday. It's supposed to be something special, but it's a shitty day plus rain. So I did my best to help them calm down and, you know, figure out something adult that they'd been putting off for a while.
Hmm.
And by the end of the conversation, they felt a lot better.
Yeah.
And that would be Ludus.
Yeah.
Um, but like in the frame of a long term relationship, one of my biggest ways of showing affection for a partner
Hmm.
is cooking
Oh,
and
real shit.
kind of physical stuff.
Hmm.
Like not necessarily just like draping myself across them like some diva on a piano. But
Don't call me out like this.
no, but like if my, whoever I'm with at the time is like sitting at their desk and working on something, I'll, come up behind and kind of do a little bit of a shoulder rub and say, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? How's this going?" Et cetera, et cetera. Um, you know what? Give me 2 seconds because I did one of those 5 love languages quiz predominantly out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
It, you want to know what the sad slash funny thing is?
Mm.
I did the quiz mostly so I could see what all 5 languages are.
Yeah, like I don't remember what the languages were.
Words of
specifically.
affirmation, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, and receiving gifts.
I think I got physical touch or quality time when I did it, but I don't remember for sure. But it was definitely one of those two.
And mine predominantly was words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I know I will kind of, like, some stuff will be a little physical, even though physical touch ranks pretty low for me.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, trying to talk my partner through what they're going through,
Yeah.
trying to use my skill as a wordsmith to help as best I can. And even when I was like I forget where I was, but it was some religious thing where we were trying to figure out our spiritual gifts, and one of mine was just being really, really, really gifted with words,
Right.
gifted with crafting words, gifted with crafting stories, with an ability to figure out the most apt thing to say,
Mm-hmm.
come up with a really appropriate analogy.
And while physical touch ranks low for you, I feel like it's an unfortunate thing to like crave that or like that be the way you like. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the problem with having a strong desire for receiving physical touch
Is that not everybody like sees that the way you do?
and it can very easily devolve into toxic thottery.
Right. Wow. Toxic thottery.
Like,
I know what you mean.
It's
just the way the word came.
It's a little degrading, but at the same time, throwing yourself into hookups and stuff for the physical touch, not necessarily for the actual sex, which I mean, getting a nut is nice, but like the actual physical component.
Yeah. And I feel like that's. Is this gonna get too personal? Fuck it. So that's kind of a reason why because everybody I have a couple of friends, my good sisters, they all tell me that at some point every person goes through a whole phase, no matter what your sexuality is. You go through a whole phase, and it can last for a month. It can last for a couple of years.
It could just never end.
It could, yeah.
This is
real
the
shit.
hoe that never ends.
But I feel like that's kind of the reason why I tried, and I was very disgusted by just hooking up in general. Still am, very much so, because it's so.
There's a certain hollowness.
Yeah, and it's just like
and I'm sure it felt good for the first couple of hookups, and then
not even. It felt good for one.
So for the first hookup,
literally,
and
like
then after
one,
that, you're just like,
and I'm like, wow, this sucks so bad.
Even though
just like the rest of the hookups,
even though you were getting that physical touch that you needed,
it was boring. It felt like nothing
because there was nothing behind it.
Exactly, and I'm like, I ain't got time for this. Sorry,
the objective was getting a nut, not actual affection.
Yeah, literally, and it's like
it was all eros.
That fucking grin, I hate it. But yeah, that's a thing that I feel like also a lot of people end up fucking their like mindset up with, like kind of screwing their perspective on things when they don't understand the difference and they start hooking up. They'll start to feel like that hooking up makes them ending up feeling worse.
Yep, that's why I don't hook up as often
because it's like you really need to. The people who hook up and get enjoyment out of it are the people who know the difference and like can detach up like a specific part of themselves away from the act.
I'm just here to get a nut.
Right, and a lot of people can't do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of people can't do that.
There's nothing wrong with hooking up as much as you want, bitch. Get that dick.
Like, you better get that dick and go. Have you not heard that song before? I'll play it for you.
I was gonna say that feels very Trina.
Don't call that no more.
That screams Trina.
Nuh-uh.
Really? Who?
Who did All your ladies pop you up. Who is that?
Kia.
Yeah, Kia did that. I'll play it for you later. Um,
God damn it.
but yeah. And what was I fucking saying? Oh, detachment stuff. Yeah, and I feel like that's where a lot of people end up getting more and more of a skewed perspective of the different kinds of love there is. Because when they don't understand that there's more than one, or they don't understand that there's all of them, and if they also don't understand the way they, in relationship perspective, when they don't understand the way their partner, that's a very important thing that a lot of people don't do, and it
Ooh.
irritates me when you don't understand how your partner, like what your partner views as like actual, like what
Bitch, you better speak facts.
translates as love to them. When you don't get that, when you don't understand, your relationship is doomed to just like go down the shitter. That's something you need to know before you like.
Tell facts.
Like there's something you need to know before you get into it, before you decide to commit to that person. If you don't know how that person views love, and if that person doesn't know how you view love, it's just gonna be a constant war of the minds that neither of you will be able to talk about.
And it'll just be some ludus and Eros that fizzles out into nothing.
Nothing, and it will die, and you'll wonder, but what did I do wrong? Because I was showing love how I showed it. But if you don't like,
I forget where I saw this post. Go ahead and finish your point.
but I was saying, like, I showed love how I think it should be shown. Why didn't they feel like that? And then it'll be the same thought going into your partner's brain, and you won't be able to communicate it.
Communication is so important.
Real talk.
But,
monogamous, polygamous, selfamous.
Okay. But no, I just remembered this post. I forget if I saw it on Facebook or Tumblr, but it was a post about some girl that would love throwing "I love you" back all the time at her partner. He, on the other hand, was not the kind to say it. But I guess she told him that when she was a little kid, that 3 hand squeezes meant that, like if somebody couldn't say it at the time, and all of us, and because she was upset that he was never saying it to her,
right?
And then it escalated to a point where he was even like holding her. They were like holding hands at times when they were sleeping, and she would feel like he would fall asleep first, and she would feel those 3 squeezes in his sleep while they were holding hands and walking around in the street, just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And once you find the way that your partner wants to express their affection the most,
then that's a real big issue. That's not even an issue.
Because 2 people can express love completely differently.
But if they know how each of them
likes receiving it,
then it's not that big of a deal.
Because that's the thing. The guy didn't really like saying it, but that didn't mean he didn't feel it.
Yeah, he had a different way of showing it.
And I guess physical stuff is more in tune with him. So being able to say it, but in a physical way, made that bond that much stronger and move it further towards pragma. Right.
Ooh, that was a lot that I just let out.
You good?
Yeah, that was good. That's actually a really big thing that irks me, and I'm glad that we talked about it, is the whole misunderstanding of like languages of love between partners.
Yeah, that was a actually, I'm not going to put my business out there because I know who I was about to talk about listens.
And but yeah, that's a thing that like always bugged me, because it's like so many people like because a lot of people come to me, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people come to me about relationship problems, and I'm just like Dr. Philling all of them.
Get real.
I want you to get excited about your life.
Oh, why did you fuse Dr. Phil and the Yamla? Look at you.
All right, guys, look at your life.
Look at your life through heaven. Anyway,
stop. I need some help.
We're just doing the absolute most today.
But yeah, but a lot of people come to me about their relationship problems, and that's a thing that I tell them, and I have told them for years. Like, you need to understand how your partner shows love or how they receive it, and then they need to also understand how you do the same, and that will slowly heal some issues that kind of arise from that.
Absolutely.
Should I start an advice column somewhere? I'd be really good at that.
I mean, bitch, we could talk about it on our next episode.
Woo!
But things are in the works, and that's all I can say. But anyway, I believe that will actually call it for our. Oh, wait, because I did want to reference a song, "Poetic Justice" by Kendrick Lamar, featuring somebody I don't care about.
Who?
Aubrey.
Oh. Ugh. Yuck.
There's a line down there. Line there by Aubrey. I just wish we would fight less and we would talk more. And they say communication save relations.
Real shit. Real talk.
But yeah. I believe that is the end of our mental health section. What?
Just following you.
What, how my voice goes? Because I'm still, I don't know why, but I'm still like in semi-code switch voice mode.
True. I have been for the past few days.
I don't know why. Anyway. So we are going to move on to our second musical feature, which is, Mr. Fahrenheit and Jokestrap?
Yes. If I remember correctly, Jokestrap is from Ohio. They are amazing. Despite where they come from.
They can be amazing. They can be a nugget of gold in an otherwise state full of shit. Because until somebody says something about the bullshit that happened in motherfucking Toledo, that whole state is dead to me.
So the song is called.
The
song is called "Totally New Shows."
Shoes. Oh my god.
And you guys will understand why when the song is playing.
Let's get some shit.
Can we?
Let's play the song. We'll be back, y'all. Hope y'all like that. So we're going to be moving on to our nerd culture segment, which I at least want to revisit a little bit of what happened with Steven Universe.
Yeah.
So again, massive Steven Universe spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. So again, revisiting the whole Change Your Mind arc, or I guess episode.
Yeah.
Something that I kind of missed, but like rewatching that whole segment, Steven got to meet his mom.
Yup.
And like I'm realizing now that that's why he was like crying so much.
Mm-hmm. Because he realized who that was.
Exactly. And the fact and the that little detail that I missed, that like I said, I know we mentioned last time we were talking about this, but that teeny little detail of human Steven dancing on pink Steven's feet like a kid dancing on their parents' feet. It's, I don't know, that whole thing was just,
But my whole thing was that is that Rose literally told Steven exactly where she went in like the videotape. It wasn't metaphorical.
which a friend of mine texted me because I got him into it.
Uh-huh.
He's like, that videotape episode is not fair. His words, not mine.
Like, because she, there was no metaphor. Like, there was a metaphor, but it was actually hard fact what she
It
said.
was taken as a metaphor when that that episode dropped,
But
and
it's-
then
but
Rebecca was
she-
like, "Surprise, bitch!" She was being literal.
She meant it. Yeah, I'm going to become half of you, and every time you laugh and enjoy life, that's me loving you and loving being you. She literally told him what was gonna happen.
You know what I want to know? What happened? How?
How what?
How did it go from Rose being pregnant to
That is something I'm very curious about.
like did Rose birth Steven and Steven had her gem and Rose was gemless and just kind of evaporated?
Because all people have said in that show is that she gave up her physical form. So like, what does?
I'm wondering if it was like she like went up to Greg like, Greg, it's time.
Right.
And it was like they said their final goodbyes.
Don't do this. I should have stopped you right then and there. But one thing that is interesting that
Okay. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
But one thing I was thinking about was, when do gems poof? What makes gems poof?
They get damaged to a certain point.
Or when they experience something like mortally wounding. I imagine birth would be that level of, I don't know. Like always, like there was a thing that I was thinking about that could have been like she could have poofed.
I'm like, and then what? Like one of the crystal gems met Greg at Vidalia's place?
Something, yeah. I feel like the movie might go into detail about this.
Possibly. I don't know. I'm thinking that it might have been what I was starting to say.
What?
This, aside from the narrative bit about it, but see some kind of dramatic thing of Rose turning into a bright pink light with only her gem showing, and then
And
her
it's Steven.
shrinking down
Yeah.
into a naked baby Steven.
I can see that.
But yeah, I don't know. Just rewatching all of that and actually picking up on more of the details. Picking up more of the detail. Let me not.
But that confirms a lot. Remember when I was talking to you about this, when we were watching it together, when we went to Rose's room for the third time, and he was talking to Rose. He didn't open the door. He said, while looking at the picture, I just want to talk to you and learn about the real you. Then the gem lit up, and then the door opened. Like
She's still in there.
Like Rose had, or I keep saying Rose, but that's just how I'm gonna have to refer to Pink Steven. Rose have to be able to hear him and experience everything he experiences.
Maybe not necessarily hear him, but
like
feel what he was feeling that desire to
like
actually.
She's half of him. She has to know what's everything that's happening. She can't say anything because she's Steven, and Steven reacts how Steven reacts. But she has to know. So when he said, I just want to talk to you and know about the real you, he may not have necessarily been talking to Rose in the room. Although I still think that's an interesting theory. Because you remember when I first told you, when he first went to the room and everything started to go, like breaking and going to shit. He's falling, and then the pink whale, I forget the name of it, comes up to him because he's like, this isn't what I wanted. And the whale comes up, and in Rose's voice, before he knows what Rose even sounds like, says, what do you want, Steven? In the room. So like that makes me wonder if Rose could talk through the room, since it is her gem, and she is as confirmation by this episode still around, even though not as herself. Maybe he was talking to Rose in the room
in some way.
And maybe if it's not that to that extent, Rose did let him go in there because she probably knew what would have happened if he tried to summon like a cloud version of her to talk. She probably just like, okay, go ahead.
Maybe. That remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Still gagging for a century about Obsidian, but I will forever gag about Obsidian.
Obsidian's the shit.
Um,
The scene, yeah, I told you about that because I like brightened it up on Photoshop. The scene when
oh
White's
right.
pulling out the
So the
gemstone,
scene when White is like using her sickening manicure
long ass demon nails,
and just with Steven's gem.
right? Y'all, the pipes are loud in here. I hope y'all can't hear it.
Yeah, but like the pipes are loud and the pipes are crying a little bit because the weather.
Someone's got hot water on.
Yeah, but anyway, but that scene where White removes Steven's gem,
Mhm.
despite what I thought, it wasn't in silhouette.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't-
actually
it wasn't
fully
just-
drawn and in color.
So you brightened up, you could see the look of agony, anguish, and confusion on Steven's face.
And furthermore, when the gem actually comes out, that is also fully drawn and in color. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
And you just see the gem just come out of Steven's stomach. Navel,
I was
sorry.
expecting a navel
Yeah, navel.
instead of just nothing.
But there would be no umbilical cord for him to have a navel.
Yeah, but I would expect at least a navel where the gem was.
I don't know. It would make sense, but I'm also just kind of like, nah. I could see why he wouldn't have one. Because by technicality, Steven is a fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, if not before, definitely now.
yeah, I think he's always been a fusion. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. What I wonder though is, I wonder if his bubble is going to change
What do you think? Why do you think that?
because Pink Steven's shield,
Yeah.
Pink Steven's shield bubble, was very
Pointed and angular.
what's the word? Geometric.
Yeah. But I also think a lot of people think that that's just Pink Diamond's shield.
Possibly.
Because Steven's got Rose's shield for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Pink Steven taken away from human Steven it's just Pink Diamond. Even though what she said is both right and wrong when White was asking where Pink was and then Pink Steven said she's gone. Technically that was Pink Diamond, but she wasn't wrong about Pink Diamond being gone.
Yeah, because
Pink Diamond's been gone, girl, for thousands of years.
mm-hmm.
When she decided that she was gonna be Rose forever that night when she faked her shattering, she wasn't playing around. Right to that point, there was no Pink Diamond. So
we're moving on. Moving on up. Anyway, moving on to a little mini series that we're going to be doing with this show of Black Ass Media.
yeah, boy.
So, given that it's Black History Month, day one is going to be Black Ass music. Why are you making that face?
Because that's what that sound made me think of.
What that voice that I'm using?
See, you make faces when you do it.
Yes, we're going to be talking about things and stuff. So, I actually made a playlist on the Spotify called FUBU 2019. For Us, By Us 2019. Though there are a couple of honorary slots in here.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, Bobby Caldwell.
Yep.
Who, casual reminder, Bobby Caldwell is a whole entire white man.
Who I still stay can bring food to the cookout.
As long as it doesn't have raisins.
Bobby Caldwell is not gonna put raisins in food. He's not. He's not. He ain't that damn stupid. Oh, that was gonna come out wrong if I kept going with that.
Woo! Chile.
But he.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
I feel like he knows how. That voice sounds like he knows how to cook.
Just like how when Anthony Hamilton sings, the cornbread's done. You weren't even baking.
The gumbo's done. The roux is ready.
Ooh. Why'd you mention gumbo?
Catfish is done frying.
Ooh, never mind.
It's
the texture.
I hate you.
It's
hate
the texture.
it.
I
hate
can't.
it.
I want to like catfish, and I've tried it multiple
It's
times.
so good.
I've tried it multiple
so
times. It's the
good.
texture. I can't do it.
Oh, it makes me moist.
Okay, so What are some black ass classics that you can think of just off top?
September by Earth,
Naturally.
Wind, and Fire.
And only Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
I don't know why that Cobra thought she could cover it.
Snakes always do shit that's done for them.
How do you think they lost their legs?
God damn it. Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye. Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye. Inner City Blues by Marvin Gaye. All of those are just like rebellious ass classics.
After the love is gone.
That falsetto, that is like legendary. I wish I could hit that.
I can.
Oh yeah, fuck off.
We've also got some on this playlist. I've also got some more somber classics or somber necessities. Most namely of which, Nina Simone's cover of "Strange Fruit."
Strange fruit and you. That's a listen. That song haunts me to hear it by whoever sings it. But the one version that haunted me, I don't think she was the only one that sang it. Jill Scott singing that song.
Jill Scott did a cover of that.
Woo!
Ooh, Jill Scott, anyway. Let me not.
What were you about to say about my girl?
I was gonna say something about Big Titty Queen Jill Scott.
You're not wrong, but I mean, hey.
I mean, obviously, she is so much more than that. But I'm just over here. I ain't shit. I openly admit it. So,
but Jill Scott's got to go on there too, on that playlist at some point. A couple of her songs.
ooh, let's take a long walk.
Yeah, A Long Walk's got to go there. The Way's got to go on there.
Is it the way?
Golden's got to go on
Living
there.
my life like it's golden.
Like it's like a jukebox. If I say the song, you start singing it. What's another good Jill Scott song that I'm missing? There's one that's like really obscure.
It's special.
Yeah, that's like the big one.
Different. We've also got on here that I know is gonna shake Vesta to his core.
What?
She give me money when I'm in need.
You missed a note. She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. I got a woman way over town.
Good to me.
I almost said digs on me. Woo, Kanye who?
We had to have A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke.
Yes.
Cause I was born by a river.
I was born by the river.
Also, you know what else we absolutely
No.
No.
I was born by the river. I was shaking that ass. No. I'm sorry. I had to.
Also had well. Love and happiness. Had to. I wasn't expecting that to pick up, honestly.
What?
Me stomping on the floor.
Oh, well, I mean, muscles, you know.
Yeah, these oh yeah, that's
ham hocks.
That's a scar. Awesome. No, so for those who obviously can't see, no, I've got a scar on my leg from being cut by some laminate at work.
Oh, laminate? Oh, Jesus.
Yep. We've also got my internal theme song, though I had to alter the lyrics slightly. Never too much, never too much, never too much.
Doing too much, doing too much, doing too much.
Exactly. Also had to have Footsteps in the Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Are we really sure?
I also, even though this one shouldn't really be here, but it is anyway. Energy by Sampa the Great.
Okay.
Oh, the fucking video. That video.
My wig.
Like, if you're listening to this right now and have access to YouTube, pause, go to YouTube, type in Energy Sampa. That's Sampa the Great. Go watch that video.
And come right back.
And then come back. Because I will forever gag about that video. That video was like 5.5 minutes of WakandaCon.
True. Very true.
let's see. Had to put the Queen of Soul on here.
Oh, Aretha. Yeah.
Exactly. You need to put some respect on her name.
Just a little bit.
Some R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Find out what it means to me.
Which you have no idea how long it took for me to be able to finger spell that on tempo with the music.
I mean, because she...
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Like, that's... Yeah.
And what else have we got? I mean, like, we're running through these songs, but the fact of the matter is that these are songs that both of us grew up with. And a lot of them are damn near integral to the Black experience. While Vesta's over there standing for Sade.
Nigerian-born queen. Thank you.
Whose first name is actually not Sade, which I learned, and it threw me.
It's Helen. And she don't like it, and neither did... I remember an interview of her talking about her name and how her relatives, Nigerian relatives, were just like, your name is, what is... I forgot how to pronounce her middle name, so I'm not going to butcher it. But we're not using that name. To quote Black Panther, we don't do that here.
No.
We don't do that here.
Full of Sade.
Full of Sade. Yeah, there we go.
Hence, Sade. Had to get some James Brown in here.
Oh, yeah.
Because that... nah, I'm not going to do it.
What?
Do I want to do it?
Do what?
Play the very beginning of a very specific song. Because I can't imitate that to save my life. You know, the... that probably sounded like garbage. I want to know how he did that with his voice.
Because Prince tried and he fucked his vocal box.
Meanwhile, James Brown was doing that up until his death. Like that and Payback.
It's been sampled so many times.
No, but that icon. I'm surprised that iconic scream has never been hasn't been sampled to my knowledge.
Yeah, it has. Kanye sampled it.
Hey. I
was like Kanye sampled James Brown a lot.
Who?
Yeah, but regardless of his ain't shittery, Kanye sampled him a lot.
I cannot stand Kanye, but I cannot deny the fact that he is a phenomenal producer.
You know, Otis. No. At the very end, it's all James Brown samples.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Also had to put more of the Isley Brothers. Like, it's your thing. Do what you want to do now. Temptations. Had to put some Michael Jackson. Bunch of Stevie Wonder. Wait, okay, so we're thinking of two different songs completely. Because, you know what I was thinking? I need to add another song to this.
What?
Isn't she lovely?
Oh, that song's gonna hurt my soul. Oh. My favorite Stevie Wonder song of all time is probably Superstition. Don't You Worry About a Thing. It's stuck between those two.
Superstition, I'm pretty sure, is on here.
Don't you worry about a thing.
Had to put Raspberry Beret. The kind you find in a secondhand store.
Fun fact for all of you Prince fans, he wrote that about Susan Moonsey from Vanity and Apollonia 6. The latter of which is... But...
Because you will never pass up an opportunity to shade Apollonia.
Whoever that is.
There's also some newer stuff that I put on here.
Yes.
Like, there's a handful of songs from Lizzo, because she is a very feel-good musician.
Yes.
And unapologetically black as hell. Unapologetically classically trained on the flute.
Legendary.
And I have that song of hers saved on my SoundCloud of her just playing, bitch!
Is that the song with the sample in it that I called out and you got mad at me about it?
Yeah, I got mad at you because how the fuck?
Oh, yeah. So in the song, it's got a couple of samples in it. And one of them is the flute that she replayed and another of it saying, yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and the other being, bitch, you emotional? And I was like, what is that? And you looked at me, and you looked irritated already.
you needed 3 words,
I'm like, wait.
And you picked that up.
I'm like, what is this? So I hunted. I'm like, that's Kendrick Lamar. And you looked at me even more irritated. And then I went to Black Panther, his Black Panther album, and it's
Lo
off
and
a Big
behold.
Shot, where he says, "Bitch, you emotional," and the flute is from, and you got irritated.
Yeah, because
I'm really good at that, you guys. That's the
Clearly.
thing I know how to do.
a couple of songs I had to put on there, partly for the giggles, because the boy is mine, the boy is mine, the boy is mine, the boy is mine.
The song is mine.
Because Brandy is just made of shade at this point, made of shade and micro braids.
Oh my god, I love Brandy. That was amazing.
But also,
Uh-oh.
who do you think I am?
Don't make me quote my mama. Leave testosterone Braxton alone.
No, no, no.
No. Who do you think
I like the fact that I, as a,
break my heart.
I'm not putting that on
Say
here.
you love me again.
See, are you done? So, tell me why every time I hear that song now, because I looked it up, I can't help but think of Patti LaHelle.
Oh.
Unbounce my chair. Say I'm not in debt.
God. Oh my god.
I also had to put the one that Vesta stands for, Forever and Always, on here.
Which song?
Is it a crime?
This may come as some surprise, but I miss you. I can see through
What is this?
all of your lies.
What is this storefront Church of God in Christ ass cover of this song? You sound like somebody's drunk ass uncle in front of the pulpit trying to sing. And the worst part about this is that I know you actually can sing.
I fuck up songs all the time. If y'all like songs, don't tell me you love them because I'll fuck them up. I guarantee you.
Are
I'm good.
As you spike the mic, Beach, calling me the fuck out, had to put Say It Loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Because we had to. Had to, there's, what else do we have? We had to put Let Freak, Chic, Freak Out.
What's the name of that band?
Chic.
Okay, thank you. Just making sure you.
Because they say it
pop quiz.
in French in the song. Le Freak, c'est chic. C''est. It's chic.
I'm just making sure you know.
Don't make me attack you with my ice hands.
Ice hands. All right, Elsa.
Who needs
Don't
to be
let it-
gone from Chicago?
True, honestly. I don't know where you at, girl,
Like,
but we're going to fight you.
Be gone. Bop.
Smacked both mics.
Had to put the Negro National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing.
Oh, I'm about to say which one. Depends on what kind of Negro you're talking about. You talking about fuck the police coming straight from the underground Negro? You
I
talking
mean, that's also a
about,
whole.
that's
mood.
another song you gotta put on there. Fuck the police.
We'll see. I may end up splitting this into a handful of playlists,
True.
like oldies,
Fuck the
hip hop,
police coming straight
modern.
from the underground.
But what we will do, however, is put a link to the playlist in our thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes. There also because the 20th anniversary of it is on here, or is this year rather. You know what song is on there?
Boom, 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 boom.
Cash Money taking over for the
99 and
2000.
As we both just start
Twerking terribly in our seats.
I'm gonna break this chair. All right.
Unbreak my chair.
All right, guys, girls, no matter house.
Excuse you, Beach.
All right.
Are we moving to our I think is there anything else on this playlist we wanna talk about? I mean, like I said, Bobby Caldwell's on here because he can come to the cookout, I guess. Had to put some Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan.
Fun fact about that song: Stevie Wonder is playing the harmonica.
Of course he is. Superstition's on here. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes.
Oh yeah, I forgot what song that was for me. I feel so bad. But yeah, my father's gonna come out of the grave and come whoop my ass.
I wish you luck in surviving.
Like literally, I can hear him like nigga.
coming out of the
Just
coffin.
football tackling me.
Coming
He
out-
was a quarterback. Oh yeah, he was just football tackling me.
How-
Nigga.
Something quarterbacks don't tackle.
He plays football. He did something in football. Sorry,
I
Dad.
was gonna say you're neither.
My gay is showing. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But
You have anything else you'd like to talk about?
yeah.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we've got... Okay. Got another thing to talk about.
Oops. So, help me lead. I don't know how to say his name.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse from Empire. I never watched Empire. I probably should. So
You want me
he
to...
was attacked.
No, I'll let you have it. Go nuts.
Oh, so he was attacked here? Was it in Chicago.
Chicago.
He was
Outside of
attacked
Subway, if I remember
outside
correctly.
of Subway.
Or near a Subway.
Yeah, from what I understand, he was apparently called out by a bunch of white guys. Did they confirm it? Did he say it was a bunch of white guys?
I don't remember the details. Mostly because...
But basically, a lot of the things they got a rope around his neck.
Not a rope, a noose.
Yeah, a noose. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say you're gonna be intentional about that.
Yeah, so a noose around his neck. Poured what was it? Bleach.
Yep.
Bleach on him. Asked him if he. I don't know if they said that nigga or that fag
Isn't that faggot from
from
Empire?
Empire, and said as they ran, "This is MAGA country."
Which, girl, no, Chicago is as blue as the sky.
Yeah, you're about to get shot if you ever say that out loud in Chicago. And so people both, and I'm gonna just call out the black community right now. I know other people supported him in other races and in the community, but I'm gonna call out black people here. So there are people that were immediately were like, "Oh my God, how could this happen? This is terrible." Yada yada yada. Other side was like, "Well, what was he doing out in Chicago in the middle of the night?" Other people then it came out that the police were asked him for his phone because apparently he was on the phone with the manager, and the manager was the one who said he heard "This is MAGA country." They asked to see his phone, Jesse's phone, and Jesse said no.
Y'all could subpoena the phone records.
Right, and
you don't need to go through this fucking grinder.
with that fact alone, people would just went ape shit about how he made the whole thing up. So
y'all niggas trust in Chicago cops?
So y'all y'all trust in cops and Chicago cops? So black man gets attacked for being gay and y'all just trying to find every possible excuse to like belittle that situation. Well, he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that. You're a victim blaming the shit out of this man. Y'all did the same thing.
It sounds a lot like what happens when women come forward with sexual
I was literally going to say that. This sounds like what happened when all the women came about R. Kelly and they were just like, well, they're a bunch of fast-haired girls.
I genuinely want to slap people that use that term for children.
And I'm like, these are children. Yeah, first of all, these are children you're talking about. Second of all, y'all don't want to accept that. Y'all just don't want to support gay folks in the community at all. Y'all really don't. Y'all will find any possible reason to like diminish someone's light and fame and success and popularity if they don't fit your slave era ass mentality of what men and women should be. Mm-hmm. Real talk.
Dragging EJ left and right for no reason.
And y'all.
No, carry on.
And it's really just kind of sad that y'all are just okay with that? Because if it was your child, if that was your son who got a noose around their neck in 2019, who got called a fag and got bleach poured on him like it's the 50s and beyond, y'all would be up in arms about how this is terrible and racism and left and right. Y'all only want to acknowledge that. Y'all want to question why he was out in Chicago in the middle of the night, why he won't give his phone up, why just every other thing except for the fact that this man was attacked.
I've got answers for those two. Why was he out late at night? He's a grown ass man.
He's a grown ass man.
One.
Yeah.
Two, he was obviously going to go get some food.
Yeah, literally. And
going through his phone.
Why?
The
what
cops
y'all
can
want?
subpoena his phone records.
What do y'all want with his phone? Why do you need his phone when you can just look at get some phone records and go, oh, he was on the phone with his manager. Adds up. Y'all don't want to do that though. Y'all
want to find incriminating evidence against a black man, just like always.
Always.
Just like how they did with Mike Brown, just like how they did with tried to do with Tamir Rice, couldn't do it because he was a fucking preteen and did that with his parents. Just like how y'all did that with Trayvon Martin, just like how y'all did that with Alton Sterling, Jesse, or Freddie Gray, and so on and so forth.
And y'all are fucking gross. Like, I hate when people victim blame, especially in the black community. When something bad happens to you, people people don't want to believe it or they don't want to acknowledge it. I have experienced this firsthand, mind you. This entire not this entire scenario, but something very obviously racist happening to me in a workplace and being blamed for it. And I am disgusted that people will literally try and not come to a black man's defense when he is involved in a hate crime and instead focus on the fact that this man's gay. We can't show support for him. I'm not about that lifestyle.
People tried to pull all the support out from under D. Ray McKesson
because
he's gay. He's out there fighting for you. Ooh, let me stop. This is your thing. This is your thing.
I was going to bring up Trey. I forget the name of the activist, and I wish I was better with names. But Trey Melvin made a whole ass video about how this openly gay black man was doing. It might be the same person. I'm not sure. Black Lives Matter.
D. Ray McKesson.
Yeah, thank you. And all of a sudden, everybody was like, "We need a strong black man to lead it, and not a gay black man," and all kind of shit.
You say that as
what are y'all doing? Why are y'all sitting there on your ass on Facebook, not out there in the streets, not protesting, and not trying to make a change? And second of all, what does him being gay have to do with anything? Y'all need to leave these slave mentality ass gender roles alone. Y'all need to leave this slave owner fed Bible shit. Because now I'm going to come for y'all throats on that, out of this. Because by technicality, that religion was instilled in us to enable a kind of control. Y'all can at me about that if you want to. But y'all bring up all this shit that works against you to try and defend your shitty reasons as to why men can't act a certain way. Or why men deserve to be punished a certain way for not being quote unquote masculine. And y'all punish women and then further to add on to it, y'all punish women for just being women, just outright, especially black women. Y'all black nerds be shitting on black women for existing. So I'm gonna leave this before that tension gets on longer because I can go off on y'all.
If you don't, I will.
So tomfoolery. Go on.
Okay, I can actually, I'd be more than happy to piggyback off this because I was originally going to talk about Mother Nature being a raggedy ass bitch for fucking up my date yesterday. No, not Mother Nature directly, because she did what she gonna do. What pissed me off was all the sensationalist ass news headlines, left, right, center,
biggest ice storm in the world, and
this is gonna be the biggest ice storm we've seen in years.
And it rained.
And bitch,
it rained.
I saw dogs tapping their feet in puddles and shit. I'm over here
it may have freeze rained for about 5 minutes after 6 p.m. But that was it. I threw some salt on the porch and everything was fucking fine.
Yeah. So the person I'm seeing's birthday was that same night. And so
Inevitably
I
ruined
wanted
by
to do
some
I
tongue.
wanted to do something special because it was their birthday and we're, at least for now, the same age. But they're all 50 shades of upset because it was supposed to be their birthday and they were super excited, and we're not super excited, but the fact that it was their birthday and it was supposed to be something kind of special, and then Mother Nature had to come across and try and pretend to be a raggedy bitch long enough for some sensationalist ass bitches to write a fucking headline saying that this is supposed to be the biggest goddamn ice storm
And
in
there
the
was
fucking
like alerts on my phone about it. My mama
Facebook
was
stories left and right.
My mama was like, "Oh, make sure y'all be careful going to school. It's gonna be ice storming," and not shit.
FEMA's raggedy Felicia looking ass popped up and was like, "Hey girl, don't go anywhere."
Right, and I'm like, if you don't fuck off, it rained outside. Fuck off.
Like with the snow that we got smacked with the other day.
That wasn't shit.
Well,
That was
here's the thing.
relief.
Here's the thing: the snow that we got smacked with the other day, that was genuine. That was legit. Something actually happened. That polar vortex shit that hit us and brought us all the way down to -30.
That was some
real.
shit.
That was some shit. That actually happened. This freezing rain bullshit.
All it did was clear up the snow that's been here for weeks now. That's all it did. Like, there's still something here and there, but it's nowhere near the level it was before because I can see grass again.
Yeah,
But that's all it did.
Yeah,
all it did.
And
it froze for a little bit, and it wasn't even that thick. In some places, if the rain even stuck long enough.
We had some fucking stories going on. We're expecting as much as a half an inch of
Really,
ice.
like 3/4 of an inch. Fuck off,
bitch. We're
fuck off.
Like,
I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I bet might as well just stay inside. We were gonna fucking do the shitty remote recording that I hate, but
you know,
it didn't fucking happen.
So I got to make it to the actual stewed this time.
So anyway,
like, anyway, what I was gonna say is just like a little side note to any and all of the black nerds that may or may not be listening. If you subscribe to the idea that something black women or black men are too much this, that, and the other, stop listening. Stop the podcast, unfollow, go the fuck away. I don't want your commerce, period. Because that kind of mentality is toxic as hell and does not help anyone. Oh, black women are all this, that, and the other. But it's a problem when someone says black men are all this, that, and the other. Hell, the other day, I was talking with a coworker at a semi-new job. Long story, not going to go into it. But you know, she and I were talking back and forth, and said something about like how if I wasn't seeing anybody, she'd hook me up with her cousin. And she mentions in conversation that her cousin's half black, and said, "Wait, are you not into black guys?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, I was so far taken aback by that I looked like that I wasn't into black guys. And my thing is, I genuinely do not have any racial hangups about who I am romantically entangled with. Because each person, they may have similar upbringing, may have a similar background culture, but each person is their own individual person. They're going to have their own individual likes. They're going to have their own individual dislikes, favorite foods, favorite movies, favorite music, etc. They're going to have their own problematic features. They're going to have everything. And so to lump them all into one thing and just do the thing that a lot of these fucking twink ass queens like to do and go, "I just don't date black guys," is infuriating. It's bullshit. And I know we've beaten this horse to death, and the ground is sprouting grass from that horse's dead body being rotted into the ground, and yet I will continue to beat this patch of earth until somebody gets it through their thick fucking head that not all people of every single race are the same. I am different from Vesta, is different from every other person that we've worked with.
True. I would like to quote Mohawk Johnson when you're done.
Okay. But it's I just don't date black guys.
Why not, sis?
Yeah, like,
why not?
How are we all the same other than identifying as black? Like,
if I ask you why not and you say they all, I'm immediately cutting off the conversation. Because you don't.
No. See, you would cut off the conversation. I would sit there like a fusion of Beyonce, Kobe, and Sky Jackson, just waiting for that response.
If you don't get out of here,
they all blah 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 blah. Oh, really?
Do they?
I never got that memo. I'll have to get on that right away.
That face, I hate it. Hello?
Oh, interesting.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Like that has always baffled me, and that's why my block list on a lot of my hookup apps that I don't really even use that much anymore. But that's why my block lists are so full. I'll come across somebody like, ooh, this person's cute.
Real shit.
And there's a line under there like, I'm not into black guys. Sorry, it's just a preference. Oh, but I bet you are into this block. Click.
Like, I've blocked a lot of people. Like, I've used Tinder, even though that's just a cesspool. Like, Tinder is...
Sorry, I'm just remembering.
Tinder is just like Grindr light, in my honest opinion, just because it's a bunch of white folks or people that wish they were white folks.
There are way too many twinks and twunks on Tinder for me.
Yeah, it's very accurate.
And
there are some fine-ass hooking men on Tinder, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
however,
that's the thing. I'm not against any twinks. I'm just like, y'all
I'm not either, but I'm just also like...
You gotta come with some kind of something for me to go, oh, you don't need my attention. You can get the attention of literally 3/4 of the rest of the gay community.
Literally.
Because for some reason, the gay community likes to idolize the hell out of twinks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they're skinny and hairless.
They ain't even got enough ass to grab onto.
Like,
to even get any action going.
We'll
start a fire with you.
Give me some... give me a burly power lifter someday. But like, let me not delve too far into my thirst buckets.
Mine either.
But
so to quote Mohawk Johnson, like I was going to do before,
have at it.
Legendary, and I repeat, legendary Chicago, like undergroundish Chicago rapper by the name of Mohawk Johnson. Love you. He made this status that says nobody. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, black nerds. That's why I hate black women. They don't watch anime and they only date drug dealers. I need a white queen, the Harley Quinn of my Joker. I'll show them who's an Oreo cookie. I'm moving to Japan. That's not the most accurate shit. It's so accurate. Like, I hate to say that, but that's some real shit. Everything he just said in that status as a joke is actually, like, reality. And he responded to his own status because it went viral. People shared it and thought he meant it. And they agreed with it.
And that kind of proved his point.
Literally. He was like, wow, all right.
So y'all really ain't shit. But, like, that, ugh.
But that's...
calling oneself an Oreo... do we want to unpack that? Like, how long have we been here? Because
we almost 2 hours in.
Oh, Jesus. So, you know what? We're going to put a pin in that.
We'll save it for next time.
I'm going to save my Oreo rant for next time because, frankly, I could just go on and on, especially about unpacking my old, a bunch of internalized bullshit that I am so glad that I have liberated myself from.
Mm-hmm.
But... I'm better. I'm okay. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that wraps up another episode of the Baldwin Kids. If you've got any questions, comments, great ideas, or just want to say hi, shoot us an email at askthebkcast@gmail.com or give us a like and a DM on our Facebook page. Also, be on the lookout. We may be coming to a social media near you.
Whoop.
You can also get a hold of me on Twitter. I am known as @The Iron Magnus. That's THEIRONMAGNUS.
I'm on there as the Moon Dancer. THEMOONDANCER. I don't fucking use it, but y'all can talk to me if you want.
I honestly am trying to get back into Twitter.
But if y'all really find me, I'm on Instagram like a mother. House_of_fire. And I think my music Instagram is Vesta with 2 underscores.
Yeah.
Before it. Yeah.
But
it's a lot of usernames to memorize, you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, they can rewind. They can channel Missy Elliott, put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
It's your flipping kitty flan yams.
Oh my God! I'm done, y'all. We are a TSRP Network podcast, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Do better.